Yay. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Joining us for our series on a Monday. I am so happy that you are joining us either live or going to be able to watch this as a replay. We have a special guest with us today. It's Michael Ocher, who is a Kabbalah teacher and a spiritual guide and coach. And he has some really exciting things to share with us today, just really grounding.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miki. And my name is Julia Bernatsky. I'm co-founder of Just Life Collective and the founder of Untamed Heart. And I'm very excited to for our program all together. I'm always excited for this moment, always waiting, and especially today because we did such an amazing job in the past 22 days, right? We did so much work. And right now we're going to have like a conversation about happiness and about how it aligns with DNA of our soul. And also with all the work we did a lot of preparation, we did a lot of letting go, we did a lot of completions. But now we all need to have clarity on what are the next steps. What are we doing? What are we doing with all that goodness, all the energy that we created, and how do we share it? And how do we have clarity? And how do we create order so that we can actually continue creating? And with that, Michael, so where do we want to start?
First of all, thank you, Miki. Thank you, Julia. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here and to join you. I think about first to congratulate all of us, whoever was on this journey with us for these few weeks of aligning and preparing ourselves and connecting with ourselves and connecting with the universe and the creator. And right now there's a lot of as Kabbalists teach us what energy we can connect to every single week. And it's always better to be prepared, right? You always want to, if you're going into something, if you're going into a meeting, if you are going into any kind of project, you always want to be more and more prepared. So we're getting a preview of what to expect in the coming week in general, what kind of energy starting to develop. And we finished the entire process of where our consciousness is much more accessible to us, right? Those 22 days that we spoke about, those 22 days in the month of Libra are very special days when your subconsciousness is so much more available to you to really change whatever doesn't work and make sure you have everything that you need to, that does work. And this week we're actually accessing it. We're starting to get previews of, okay, so what did we do? How did we do in those last few weeks? What kind of, how did we set our consciousness? Were we able to fully prepare ourselves? Did we do everything that we want? Because also we need to understand that life is not, about doing things that people expect us to do, but it's doing things that make us really happy and make really us fulfilled, and not just because it's expected from other people, but that it truly comes from us, that it's not put on us by someone else or something else, but it really truly genuinely comes from our desires, from our soul. And it's very interesting that actually DNA is very changeable, right? Our DNA is actually very changeable. It changes, it mutates, and it's actually affected by our environment. And like, if some of you have heard, he's an amazing author and speaker, and Joe Dispenza, he says that actually if you change your DNA, then your environment also changes. And this is very Kabbalistic because Kabbalistically, we do want to change our DNA to make sure that it is healthy, that it is connected, that it doesn't, degenerate and only stays as it should be. And the DNA of the soul, Kabbalistically, it means it's connecting to your true desires. And these last few days next week, until we enter the month of Scorpio, which is an amazing month with so much energy, so much light and potential. And these few days are actually some of my favorites. I love these days of the year, these days in the Kabbalistic calendar, the last few days of the lunar month of Libra. They're very positive. They're very like, you did so much work, you did so much investment, you did so much soul searching and transformation, and now you're getting to really enjoy it. It's really, really special. And I really connect to them personally. And I feel like there's a lot of guidance from the universe now more than ever to kind of, give us like this supportive uplift after all the work that we've done. And DNA of a soul, it's the true awakenings of your desires. And right now we're in a great time when you are able to really clearly understand what it is that you really want. Because again, like we said, there's so much that is put on us by the society, by parents, by family, by culture, etc., that might not really be yours, that might not belong to you. And there's some things are great. Some things that we get from culture, environment, and family and parents are amazing and essential. And some things are not. So right now we're kind of can see ourselves from a side and really understand where is this coming from, and does it really serve me or does it not serve me? Is it preventing me from growing? How does this really work? And it also creates order in our life. DNA of anything is really the perfect state, right? The raw state of something, right? If you have the DNA of a human being, you understand you can actually, clone something using DNA. But DNA of the soul is really almost impossible to clone and to mimic or imitate, because DNA of your soul is something very special. And it's something unique to you, just like a fingerprint is completely unique to each and every single one of us. Same way the DNA of the soul is completely unique to you. And we spoke about this before, about our desires, that they're very important. And there's so many different lessons in this week's energy and this whole idea. But what we want to do is we want to, first of all, reawaken our understanding that we need to take care of ourselves. This is something obviously essential. And, a lot of people feel that think that in spirituality, you kind of assume that you are working on yourself, but really, and working on certain attributes of yourself, and really forget to really take care of your basic needs. So you want to make sure that you're not forgetting yourself and you're really taking care of yourself on a very basic level. That's one. And the other is we just completed a very special cosmic event called the holiday of happiness. The holiday of when you connect to happiness for the whole year. And there's obviously, you don't have to go very far to understand that happiness is something that every single human being is going after in this world, right? It's not astroscience. And the question is, how do you achieve happiness? And time and time again, we remember that happiness cannot be dependent on an outside event. It has to be something that we create, something that we make within ourselves, that we access from within, that it's not something that is given to us. If it's something that brought to you from outside, you want to double check and see what my beliefs are, because I might be too dependent on the outside for my happiness. And in this universe, the laws of this universe state that true happiness can only be achieved only within myself, by myself, which is a very beautiful understanding. It creates a lot of freedom and it stops our dependency on things. So that's why it's important to take time. If you spend way too much time on social media, or way too much time watching TV, or way too much time communicating with other people, it's good time right now to actually isolate yourself a little bit to reconnect with yourself and to do an inventory again and see, okay, what's working and what's not working. If you've been part of this process in these few months, they're meaningful months, they're meaningful weeks, they're meaningful days. They have a lot of meaning and energy to them. They have a lot of revelation to them. They have a lot of spirituality to them, a lot of truth to them. So how was it for you? How did it go? Did you realize things that you wanted to? Are things not clear for you? Are you maybe confused with some things? Maybe you're not sure of what to do. Right now is a great time when you can answer those questions yourself. When you can really understand, how am I supposed to progress now? How am I supposed to progress in my future? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to grow? How should my relationships be? The most important relationship that you have, repeating it again and again and again, what's the longest and most important relationship that you have is the relationship you have with yourself and the universe around you. That no one can argue, right? That's the most important relationship that we have. And that relationship is very important. And so many times we do things that are not really serving us, right? So many times we try to show an image of ourselves that's not true. We know that Libra, the sign of Libra, it's an amazing sign. It's, the fighter for justice, the fighter for balance, beauty, and harmony. However, they're on the downside, the kind of the stumbling block that they have is they tend to be a little bit too worried about how people see me, what people think about me, how they perceive me, and etc. And it's a very intense process for Libras to stop going through that, to stop having that consciousness, to actually be independent from that I don't need to be dependent on what people think about me. And it's a huge sense of freedom when a person does that, right? Imagine being worried all your life, and we all have it to a degree. We either have it too much or not too much, and they tend to sabotage themselves. Libras tend to sabotage themselves for relationships. They also take authority to not in the right way. They tend to look. At a relationship or authority figures with too much importance. They need to learn to gain their control of their life, not to be dependent on what people think, on what people say. Oh, this important person said this, so that's what I should do. No, that's not how life works. The decision always needs to come from you. You are the ultimate decision maker in your life. You need to understand that you cannot depend on anyone for any decision in your life. Every single decision in your life needs to come directly from you. You are the ultimate decision maker. If you are assuming and you are taking seriously, if you're taking someone's opinion way too seriously and depending on them way too much and not allowing yourself to make the decision, that's not going to be a good end result. And it's an incredible balance, and really understand where's my decision coming from? Who am I basing these decisions on? Somebody else, or really truly my desires, my DNA of the soul? So this is a great time. It's very interesting that astrologically it's happening, that astrologically we're able to kind of see the truth and be very direct. This is a time of directness right now. There's especially today, And also this whole week, it's all about directness, all about straightforwardness. But the idea of allowing other people to make decisions for ourselves is false, actually. You yourself give the people permission to make decisions for you, not somebody's doing it for you. You are doing that.
I love that. I just had to I just have to insert a little comment because I am a Libra and I can testify to every single word of it because we love to support other people and we like confrontations. But sometimes to align with DNA of your soul, that's what we're talking about, right? To align to your true desires, we really need to come out of that space of being so comfortable and seeing the good and the bad and everything, and to be very clear, the clarity. What is mine? Is this mine? And if it's not, be brave enough to step up and face whatever you need to face and communicate whatever you need to communicate, to express what is meaningful and important for you. It doesn't have to be like a conflict, because that's a little borderline where it's either a conflict or just wait and be quiet. It doesn't have to be a conflict. It's an art to be able to communicate that is important to you, that is aligned with your soul, that is yours to do, that is your DNA in this world, that your manifestation.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for saying it, Michael, because it is true for so many of us, not only Libras, right? We're just all affected by Libra right now, by the energy of the Libra right now.
Yeah.
So that clarity, focusing on the clarity, focusing on what's important to you.
Yeah. And revealing it also, because a lot of times we don't know. A lot of times we assume, that I know what I want. But in reality, a lot of times we go after things that we assume we want and will make us happy. Not a lot of times, most of the time. And then once we get it, then the happiness disappears. So how could that happen? How is that possible? I was sure this is going to help make me happy for the rest of my life. This relationship, this status, this work, right? Everyone assumed that, oh, this is what makes you happy. And then you have it in your life. And then, oops, sorry, happiness flew away somewhere.
It wasn't ours to begin with.
Yeah.
And I'm adding Miki to right now, and she didn't know I was going to invite her in.
Another Libra.
Another Libra. And it's Miki's birthday this Saturday.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Yeah,
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to Mickey. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Michael.
Happy birthday to our beautiful Miki, and happy birthday to our amazing Libras around us. And
Yeah, totally.
we should start doing that.
I was actually looking down at my notes when you put me on there, but because and I actually date each of these that when we are speaking, and on September 7th, as we were coming into the Libra, it was really like, what are my life lessons and how can I be the best version of me? And those are the two questions that I wrote. And then on the 13th, one of the things that you said is, what makes me truly happy? And I think, as we're achieving some of the things that we think are really making us happy, we need to look back to that singular question and see if that fits into what it is that we identified as that one thing that makes us happy. Does it make us happy for a moment, or does it make us happy for a long time? Right?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Miki.
So if I take notes, that's why I keep looking down, looking at my notebook.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to remove myself also, Michael, and please continue. But this was just such a important moment for all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
The alignment.
Totally, and it's such human nature that It's very interesting that Libras, I have a lot of Libra in my chart, so that's why I'm not a Libra, but I am very Libra connected person, and I love Libras. They're some of my closest friends, and we get along amazingly. My moon is in Libra, so if somebody understands that.
Yeah.
So, but they are really they have a lot of power that they don't tap into usually, and there's so much potential, and because they tend to not love to cause like a scene or be loud like a Leo, they're not grabbing so much attention. They have so much potential and so much power. Actually, the founder of the Kabbalah Center, one of the biggest Kabbalists of previous century, was a Libra, so he was such a revolutionary. And one thing that helped him achieve his potential, his manifest his potential, is because he broke off from what the social standards were and what society was telling people, and he understood that if this is right, then this is what I need to do. And that's really amazing, like when a human being, when you really understand that this is what I need to do, and I need to follow my heart, and I need to understand what my heart is telling me, and the desires of my heart is what's important for me to follow, and that's what I need to focus on manifesting, right? Because we are here to manifest, right? We're here to make things happen. We're here to bring things into our life, to make things a reality. So and Libras probably have the best foresight out of all the signs. They're able to see the picture, completely from all sides. It's just about making a decision sometimes, just like going with it. But this week, really, we can really connect to this true essence of us. Who we truly are. And I was practicing this today, and I was like, how do I feel about this? Is this a yes or a no? And I immediately got answers. Like a great there's an amazing book, Being You, Changing the World, Becoming You, Changing the World. It's an amazing book, and they share some really interesting simple tips of how to make decisions, how to make your life better. And one of the main ideas is obviously about consciousness, that you need to change your consciousness to change your life. But the beautiful thing is, never be in the no, never be in the definitive state. Always be in the state of questioning. Always be in the state of asking questions. Ask, how can I be better today? How can I? Don't answer. The idea is not to answer questions. Just like in the wisdom of Kabbalah, uh, our main goal is to push and support and help people communicate with the universe, with a higher force, with a creator, with the light, whatever you want to call it. But start this conversation that you're communicating, conversing with the universe, with the creator, with yourself. Have the conversation with you, right? Like we spoke last week. Have the most important conversation in your life between you and yourself. Really sit down and talk to yourself. Why am I doing this? This is really helping me. What should I do? Ask the universe, and don't answer the question, right? That's the key. We tend to have an addiction to finding answers right away. You want to be in the state of asking questions. How does this get any better? How can I be a better version of myself? How can I have more fun today? Life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Make statements that you want. Don't be reactively dependent on what's happening, and react to it. Say what you feel. Say what you want to feel. Be what you want to feel. Do you want to feel connected, aligned, happy, etc.? Say those things. I am happy. I am aligned. I am connected. I am successful. I am loved. I am prosperous. I am wise. I'm courageous, etc. Say the things you want to be. Say them. That you are what you want to be. Nothing is gonna magically turn you into those things besides you. You are the magic wand. It's from the book, the wand example. You are the magical ingredient, the magical potion that will help you become what you want to be. That's it. Be open, be adventurous, look for new opportunities, look for new perspectives. There's so many interesting and amazing gems you can get from so many different modalities that you will be able to eventually come to your own truth. You know, there's nothing better than coming to your own truth. By nature, we're all followers. That's why we have big major religions that are just leading people, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but you want to be a leader in your life. You don't want to just be dependent just because someone said so. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I feel that this is the right thing to do. I'm connecting to this. That's why I'm practicing it. That's why I'm doing it. And has nothing to do with I do it just because it says so, just because that's what they said, just because it's a tradition. You know, the Mayans had a tradition of sacrificing people. Do we have to do that? I hope not, right? But that was a tradition, right? Etc. Nothing should be done just because it is. Everything needs to be questioned. That's one of the main messages of my teacher, the Rav, is that never take things as it is. Always understand it deeper. Always understand it from a deeper perspective. Own it. You know, there's a very big difference between knowledge and understanding. Knowledge is just something, a book has a lot of knowledge. Understanding comes from when you practice it. You really own wisdom when you practice it. When you let it, there's one of my favorite connections is actually tonight. There's a very big Kabbalist, and I feel a very strong connection to him. And he said something beautiful. When you say prayers, don't go through the prayer book. Let the prayers go through you. Feel it go through you. Things that you're doing, consciousness, decisions, etc. Let it go through you. Don't just go through them. Don't just take things as it is, and this is how it needs to be. Question everything. Question everything. That's what science teaches us, right? Science right now is achieving such heights of understanding and breaking down of nature around us, and etc. And physicality. It's completely changing our whole life, and we're so behind on everything. We're still the way our consciousness is, where our consciousness is as a humanity, and where science is in two different worlds. We need to update ourselves. We need to understand that, you know, and really what it also comes down to, that really what's most important is being kind, is being of service. Again, being kind to yourself, being compassionate to yourself, to other people, relationships with other people. That's what's important. But you cannot have a good relationship with other people if you don't have a good relationship with yourself. That's key. That's, never forget that. There's no one ever will tell you otherwise, and if they are, they're lying to you. The ultimate relationship is between you and yourself. That's who you report to. That's who you ultimately report to, is to yourself and the universe. That's it. Those are the most fundamental. We're always distracted by different relationships. We think about different relationships. They're very important. They're very crucial. They're going to help you understand and will make you happy, definitely. Will make you happier. But ultimately, it's much, much more fundamental relationships, like you with yourself, you with the universe, that really make you happy for a long term. So really owning things, being the cause in my life, really being the cause, being the manifester, the reason why things are happening, the reason why I make decisions in my life is me. It's my decision. I make that decision. I practice this because I believe it. I feel that it's right, etc. Never taking things from outside and just imposing it on yourself. With taste, for example, do you eat things that you don't like and say, oh yeah, this is yummy, yeah, this is good because everyone says it's good? No. So spiritually, it needs to be the same way. You need to own it. Cannot be a follower. We're not meant to be sheep. We're not meant to be just following somebody's word or, you know, somebody's beliefs. It needs to be yours. You need to own it. That's how you become a leader. That's how you become someone who you're meant to be. is by really understanding, really dwelling deeper also into things. Why am I doing this? Why is this right? Why am I acting this way? Does this really serve me? Should I change my behavior? Should I change the way I interact with people? Should I ask for more feedback from people? A lot of times, feedback from other people helps us a lot, right? A lot of times, people tell us, listen, I think you need to take care of yourself a little bit more. That'll be a wake up call. I think that relationship is not so good for you. Maybe they're right. I think you should, invest your time more into self development. Maybe they're right. Maybe you should spend less time watching TV and eating junk food. Maybe they're right. You know, like being open to outside perspectives is also good. It is a beautiful balance that you want to hear feedback from other people. You want to get all the advice you can and all the advice you want, but you cannot be making a decision because someone said so. You make a decision because you decided it. It's your decision. Otherwise, you're going to be a victim. Eventually, down the road, after making a decision based on somebody else's beliefs or forcing it on you, you're going to eventually resent it and regret it. And you're going to say, oh, why didn't I listen to myself? So listening to yourself, really listening to yourself, really, because you really know everything. Ultimately, you do know what's best for you. Ultimately, you know what is good. Ultimately, you can understand these things. So, and this is a great time to do it. Right now, it's an amazing time to really get this, a communication device, communication between you and yourself. So this is like the main energy of this whole week. And Julia or Miki, unless you wanna add something, maybe we can do a meditation.
I think this is just such a perfect message to kind of like take it into the week. Ultimately, you know what's good for you. I'm going to surface that because I've been taking notes and I'm surfacing some comments that we're making and what Michael was saying. This is what we all just need to own. To be happy, we need to align with ourselves and with our truth. And to do that, we really need to know ourselves and we really need to connect to our desires and we need to own them. Own them no matter what. Huge message, beautiful thing to live by and take it into the week.
Yeah.
Meditation for me be a perfect moment to start. And I don't know if you have anything else to add, Nikki.
No, I think, again, kind of going back to the notes that we did in the beginning of just being true to yourself and asking yourself, it's a great time to talk to yourself,
Yeah. Totally.
Love that. So let's take it into the meditation. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the meditation is a crucial practice for every human being. There's many different forms of it, and it's an incredible tool to listen to yourself, to hear yourself, etc. So this is a very simple meditation. You can just close your eyes. If you can follow along, that's amazing. If not, just listen to the meditation itself, and you connect to energy as well. So you want to first of all close your eyes. And with breathing, you always want to focus on breathing with your abdomen, with your diaphragm. To refrain using your shoulders or your chest and your upper body for breathing, you always want to focus on your abdomen for breathing. Like a baby, if you ever notice the baby breathing, they always use their abdomen, and that's the most relaxing way to breathe. And we want to concentrate and focus our consciousness in our heart. And then send our consciousness to the middle of the earth. Before you get there, you want to remember walking barefoot on the ground or on the beach, on whatever surface of our earth you can remember. And then try to go deeper into the middle of the earth where there's so much energy of the Creator. And then we want to meditate and send this energy and feel it come from the bottom of our feet for our entire body, filling us up with new light, new energy, and forming a beautiful ball of light above our body. And then we want to pretend that we are in this ball of light. And then we want to observe and see everything around us through this ball of light, how perfect everything is. And after that, you want to send this ball of light above your body, above the building you're in, out into the solar system, and traveling faster than the speed of light through the entire universe to the edge of the universe. And then imagine your ball of light going through layers of lights that are progressively getting brighter. And we come to a very bright layer of light. We keep going higher. And then we go into the next plane that is golden, soothing, relaxing light. We keep going higher and we go to a plane of light that feels like jello or thick water. And here we want to see a beautiful pink cloud. This is angel and law of compassion. We want to connect to it and help it. It's going to boost us go higher, and we're going to go to an opening that looks like a window where beautiful iridescent pearl-like light of the Creator is coming from. And we want to go through this opening and enter the plane of the Creator, a beautiful tingling light force and light of the Creator. I want to keep going higher in this plane and eventually see how our ball of light melts and becomes one with this energy, one with Creator's unconditional love. And here we're able to awaken and instill consciousness, the true consciousness of the Creator, much easier in our subconscious. And you want to also envision yourself here. You wanna have and start this or continue this relationship with yourself here. If you want to know what it means, and if you want to know what it means to really love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to understand yourself, to forgive yourself, to be connected to yourself, simply say yes. And to understand that there was nothing ever done by you that is wrong. You've never made mistakes. Everything that you've done was just right. Everything that you've done helped you be and get to where you are right now. So if you want to know what it means and what it feels like to live your life without resentment, regret, with ability to forgive yourself, and without revenge, say yes. And now we want to establish this good communication system between us and the energy of our soul, our true being. We want to understand the language of our soul, the desires of our soul. What did we come into this world to accomplish? What did we come into this world to achieve, to manifest, to bring? What is our unique mission? And we always want to do it with happiness. We want to do it with joy, with happiness. Next week we're entering the month of Scorpio, and it's a very powerful month, very intense. So we want to soak up as much joy and happiness that's available right now as possible to make sure that in the upcoming month we are just riding through the wave with our surfboard of happiness with ease in its joy and glory. So we want to really instill and connect to as much joy as we possibly can, to bring down all the joy that's available from the Creator to us. If you want that, say yes. And while we're here, you want to visualize yourself and also give yourself a big hug. Tell yourself you love yourself. Tell yourself you want to be better friends with yourself. And also, we want to know how to live our life without looking for approval from other people. If you want that, say yes. And of course, we always want to connect to Creator's unconditional love, bring it into our life, bring it to our surroundings, our loved ones, the entire world, to the entire universe. Bring this unconditional love of the Creator to blanket the whole world with this energy. And you just want to rinse yourself in this energy, in this beautiful light of the Creator. Fill yourself up with it again. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
This was amazing, Michael. Thank you so much for this meditation. And I just want to bring something back that I thought was so powerful. Something that you said that I not heard before. And it is, don't go through prayers. Allow the prayer to go through you.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Like,
Yeah, it's such a beautiful quote. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not, he said, it's not about how much of a prayer book you go through, it's how much of these prayers go through you. So
amazing.
beautiful.
So beautiful.
Really beautiful.
And I think that's exactly what will allow us to connect to ourselves.
Sure. Agree.
Thank you so much for this beautiful connection.
Thank you. Thank you. Have an amazing week, everyone. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, everyone.
And we will see you guys on next week on Sunday at 12. I believe, let me just quickly check, because our schedule is floating a little bit, changing just slightly. So, yes, October 18th on Sunday at 12. And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to receive alerts. And thank you so much. Have an amazing week, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.